Right, I am back with another Destiny 2 video, all dressed up for Bungie Day here with a shirt with a collar on it. No, it's not for Bungie Day. It's because I went to lunch with an actual human being for the first time in a very long time, so had to put on real clothes for that. This was going to be a video about whatever Bungie ended up announcing today on Bungie Day, but even though I could be jumping the gun here a bit, which could mean I delete this video later, it does seem like we are going to get through today without any kind of major announcements about Bungie or Destiny or anything like that, which is a bit of a surprise given kind of all the things that could potentially been talked about or teased or something like that. This isn't going to be like a complaint video that like, oh, I can't believe Bungie didn't share anything, but I do kind of want to just run through some of the major announcements that we are sort of waiting for at this point, and maybe today is not that day, but there are a lot of different kind of things in the works that we know about that we still do not have very much information on. So Bungie Day was, you know, there was definitely stuff going on. There were charity streams and things like that, and emblem things for charity, I think, and then we had a TWAB that had a cosplay contest, which had a bunch of cool Savathun cosplay and a bunch of very bad cosplay, but like bad on purpose. It was like a joke contest, which was very funny. And then we had things like the Nerf Galahorn went on sale today. And then just kind of in the timeline, a bunch of Bungie people got their, if you're like a new Bungie hire, you get a like wooden sword. I think 15 years is a claymore, like the Hero of Ages claymore. And then past that, if you are in like special roles, I saw like Chris Barrett got a Lord of Wolves replica, so you can get some crazy kind of anniversary stuff there. But Bungie Day is I don't, it's kind of split between being like an internal thing for them to like celebrate themselves and their own employees and stuff, and then a community thing. But it's not like guaranteed to have big news. However, so what I keep waiting for are announcements of a bunch of different things that we know are in the works. So a few things I have been looking to kind of see or hear about or even be teased at this point. I mean, we can start with the most obvious, which is Lightfall. I am not expecting that this summer because with the way Destiny works now with the seasonal model, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to start teasing one of the major expansions very early because it will potentially ruin the coming seasons. What has been happening lately is the expansion for the upcoming year is revealed pretty much right when the final season before that expansion starts. This still kind of creates weird situations like how the Witch Queen revealed that Savathun would escape and go to her throne world, and then we had a whole season where Savathun is trapped in a crystal and we're supposed to kill her at the end of it, and surprise, things didn't really work out the way we planned, although she did die in the end, so maybe they kind of did work out. But I'm not expecting to see stuff from Lightfall there, nor am I expecting now is going to be like, you know, previewing next season or something like that. The TWAB could have talked, I guess, about Solstice and stuff, but that's probably going to be just next week. In terms of other projects, we know that Bungie is currently working on a mobile game with NetEase, and they have been working on this for a few years now. NetEase infamously developed Diablo Immortal, but before anyone freaks out, I think we should recognize that Diablo Immortal plays extremely well. It is a very, very good, well-functioning mobile game, so that speaks highly of NetEase as a developer for mobile. And the awful microtransactions that Diablo Immortal has, I have to believe, were something that was greenlight by Blizzard and Blizzard management directly, not something that, you know, NetEase forced upon them. That's not how it works. So just because this is Diablo Immortal developer, I'm hoping that Bungie will kind of learn lessons from that and not have some crazy monetization model in their game. There are a lot of rumors swirling about what this mobile game could be. The general sense is that it is some sort of Destiny game. It is not like a mobile version of Destiny 2 or something, but it is in the Destiny universe. We don't know exactly what that will be like. It is supposed to be, we think, an FPS, which you know, would make sense given Destiny, and mobile FPSs are on the rise. Call of Duty Mobile makes a ton of money, just an absurd amount of money, and there's, I think, is Garena Free Fire? Is that first-person shooter? I don't know. Anyway, you have the potential to make a lot of money through FPS mobile games, and I do have to believe that this is probably going to be something related to Destiny, even if it's just some mobile version of Crucible, which hold your groans. Like, I don't know, maybe it could be kind of fun, depending on what you can use to play it, if you can use a controller to play it on mobile, something like that. But it is no surprise that they are going in the mobile space, because there is just way too much money left on the table there. We just kind of have to hope that when that does happen, it's not going to be some sort of crazily over monetized pay to win nonsense like we got with Immortal. But it is mobile, and people are kind of right to be skeptical. I really, whatever this is announced, so clearly it's not going to be today, I want them to also talk about monetization at the same time. I can't just hear announcements of mobile versions of games I like and not be skeptical now. Like The Division just announced some big mobile version of The Division, which sounds good in theory. It's The Division, but mobile, except we don't know how it's going to be monetized at all, and that was not mentioned. So that is really something I'm hoping to hear when that is announced. That project has been in the works for a really long time now, a couple of years. So this does seem like it is probably getting closer to an announcement, but we have not heard anything yet. Also in the cards, we have whatever is going on with Destiny and transmedia, which is Destiny expanding beyond the world of video games as an IP. Bungie put someone on their board who I think was a CBS executive or something, and then they just picked up someone who worked on The Dragon Prince and a bunch of other Netflix shows. Where this all seems to be going is it really, really sounds like Destiny is probably going to have a animated series, anime, whatever you want to call it. That seems to be the direction things are moving. There have been so many different kind of media-based job listings about listing like experience in animation, and then this person just came from Dragon Prince, a Netflix animated series. We know Netflix has been doing a ton of animated video game adaptations. Amazon has also been doing a lot of video game related stuff lately and video game projects. They have also done a good amount with animation with things like Invincible. I think there is a very clear market for a Destiny animated adaptation. You could also say Destiny deserves a live action series. Maybe. Like, I'm not ruling that out. I just feel like the first project with them is probably going to be an animated series. A live action series would be massive, massive budget, like a whole different kind of ball game. We've seen that can go a little badly with the recent Halo series, but even that, that got greenlit for 2 seasons, so that's still trucking. But I really do believe that we are going to see something animated first. And again, that seems decently far along in terms of the kind of planning stages. They announced this multimedia expansion of Destiny a while ago, so that's not something that's some new concept. So again, this is something I would imagine would be revealed at some point in the somewhat near future. We have the kind of longer term plans for Destiny in general. One thing we also could have gotten, but apparently are not getting today, is a state of the game address from Joe Blackburn, where it's your kind of big, lengthy, where Destiny is, where we've come from, where we're going kind of thing. And there have been these, Luke Smith used to do these, then Joe took them over. And it's a very kind of long look at the overall design philosophy of Destiny. And I don't know, apparently now is not the time to do that either. It's just, I do feel like this is a good time for one. I do think Destiny has been at kind of a peak over the last year or so. So things are going well. It's just kind of a matter of, where are we going with this? And there was another recent job listing where it's, Bungie's talking about the Destiny universe as something that's going to continue for decades to come. So we are far past the original 10-year Bungie Activision plan, and this is something that Bungie wants to make essentially, an immortal video game franchise. Whether it's not going to be just one game, it's not going to be just a game, it's going to be multiple games, it's going to be, movies and TV shows and things like that, if all goes well. But I do think we could use a little more clarity on where things are going from here. We are getting, in the very near future, we're getting Arc 3.0 next season. Everyone assumes we are going to get another new subclass when Lightfall hits, probably, which is going to be in early 2024. No, sorry, early 2023. And then the final shape is 2024. And then we know there is some sort of new saga past that. I would like some clarity on maybe the longer term future of the game, like When is there going to be a hard reset? I have to believe, they can't just keep upgrading one game for like 10 years, I don't think. Maybe they can, but I would be a little surprised if they, even if they're not calling it Destiny 3, if they did not someday kind of wrap up this current version of the game and have some, once again, have at least some measure of a clean slate and do a totally overhauled engine and like all this different stuff. I would like them to talk more about current philosophies with things like content vaulting, if that's just going to happen forever, seasonal content, seasonal structure. I think there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about, is what I'm saying. So I think we are certainly due for a state of the game. And then the kind of final thing that I think they could have maybe revealed today, but I wouldn't understand if they're going to save this for a potentially higher profile platform, is whatever their new big redacted IP is. We know that they are working on a bunch of different projects, but there does seem to be one that will make it here before the others. I forget what year they said, but I thought they said there was going to be one, a new IP here by 2024 or 2025 or something. All indications lean toward the idea that this is some sort of dedicated multiplayer game. The vibe I got from a lot of the listings was like some sort of, it seemed like a little bit more of a lighthearted universe type of thing. Maybe more towards, the style of Overwatch as opposed to the flaming scythe skull wielding guardians that we have now. That again, this could be a kind of like different project getting mixed up, so I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, but we know they are working on a new IP that is not Destiny. And all the other things I've talked about so far are Destiny, and I think Destiny is going to remain the cornerstone, but we still do not have a firm grip on which of their new kind of tentative IP projects they've been incubating is going to make it out, and then what that exactly is, even if we have kind of the general sense of an idea of what they're going to do. So again, maybe it's too early for that, but that is also something we're kind of waiting on here. So that's it. I thought maybe we would get a glimpse at one of those like 4 things today, but that does not seem to be the case unless they are going to slide something in the last minute. I'm recording this after the TWAB has gone live because I feel like if they were going to do something, it probably would have been before the TWAB, and then the TWAB would have linked to it. Instead, the TWAB is like a feel-good TWAB, which is great. It's great community stuff and charity things, and everyone should check it out. It's just we are not getting really any game or studio information today that maybe we thought we could get today. From here, we just have the rest of the season. Solstice of Heroes is kind of the main thing, and that's really it. And then we will probably start getting looks at Arc 3.0 and what's coming next season. Bungie has been very, 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 very secretive about what's coming. Like this season famously launched with pretty much no information attached to it other than some kind of like base schematics of like, the Iron Banner overhaul's coming, but we did not get a look at Solar 3.0 until it was literally live. Don't know if that was even the best idea necessarily, but that's what happened. Did not know things like the Leviathan was returning. Like there was, a lot of stuff that they kept under wraps. I don't know if they're going to just keep doing that indefinitely, and every new season will be some measure of a surprise, but we'll see. We still have like a month and a half or something left until the new season, so there's maybe a few more empty TWAB weeks before we start getting kind of sizable information. We did get some last week, but this week the only thing I saw about the game at all was a note about how the Artifice armor bug is like really, 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 really hard to fix. So that sucks, but we'll see if that ever actually gets fixed. So yeah, I'm slightly bummed that we didn't get any kind of like big enormous news drops today, but I don't know. I mean, they have a plan. When they're ready, they'll share. I think we learned from the recent God of War release date fiasco, don't badger studios for information if they're not ready to share. There's no real point to it. It's just, maybe I today could have been a good day, to generate hype for some sort of announcement, but who knows. Anyway, maybe I'll close this video and something big will be announced, then I'll do a second video. But for now, that's kind of just the status of where I think, or what big announcements I'm looking for over the course of the next year. I feel like most of those will be addressed, within the next 6 months to a year, but I guess we'll see. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.